All right, Richard, welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Goodfellas. We're talking about the NFL's draft that's coming up. So, you ready to get started?
Yes, I am.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas. All right, we're back with another mock draft of the 2021 NFL draft. But before we get started, we just want to point out that this is assuming Deshaun Watson doesn't get traded. If he gets traded, obviously, this might change a lot of things with the selections and the picks. But we're going to get started, and based upon Deshaun Watson not getting traded. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. With the number one selection in this year's draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select
QB, Trevor Lawrence, Clemson. This is the no-brainer pick. Everyone knows that's going to happen.
All right, with the second selection in this year's draft, the New York Jets select
QB, Zach Wilson, BYU. The Jets are saying all the right things about Darnold. They're really hoping they could get at least a second rounder for him. Probably won't get that. More than likely, it'll be a third rounder. So there's no secret here. I think most people are mocking Zach Wilson here to the Jets. He is starting to separate himself as the second best quarterback in this draft.
with the third pick in this year's NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins select
And again, if the Dolphins want to maximize value here, there is no point in rushing to get a playmaker at number 3 because you can get a playmaker at 7 or 8. And there's two teams, Detroit and Carolina, that want a quarterback, that are trying to move up. So in this case, Miami makes a trade with the Carolina Panthers. The Dolphins get a 2022 first rounder from Carolina and their second rounder for 2021, which is number 39 overall. Boom, boom, boom.
with the third pick in this year's NFL draft, the Carolina Panthers select
QB, Trey Lance, North Dakota State. So the question is, who do they value more, Lance or Fields? Lance is moving up, and Lance goes number 3. Obviously has received those comparisons to Michael Vick because he's athletic, he has a big arm. His people say that Trey Lance is as fast as anybody in the NFL.
With the fourth pick in this year's NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons select
QB, Justin Fields, Ohio State. So this is the logical choice at number 4. Atlanta also needs a quarterback. You know, Justin Fields played at Georgia for a little bit and before he transferred to Ohio State.
with the fifth pick in this year's NFL draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select
This is the other no-brainer. If everything goes as it seems it probably will, with 4 quarterbacks in the first 4 picks, Cincinnati will take offensive tackle Penei Sewell, Oregon. What people say is the best offensive lineman, the best tackle in a decade, maybe longer. Cincinnati is thrilled. They need someone to protect Joe Burrow, and they get Penei Sewell.
with the sixth pick in this year's NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select
Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, LSU. You know, a lot of people think, the Eagles don't really have a real quarterback at this point. But owner Jeffrey Lurie wants to give Jalen Hurts an opportunity this season. So that means they're going to have to build around him. And the Eagles definitely need a wide receiver. They need playmakers. So Jamar Chase makes perfect sense here. He's a guy, again, with great route running, control, ability to beat corners on jump balls. It's been comparisons to Fitzgerald.
with the seventh pick in this year's draft, the Detroit Lions select
Wide receiver, Devonta Smith, Alabama. So the Lions get a Heisman Trophy winner to replace Kenny Golladay. And make no mistake about it, we've mentioned it before, Jared Goff is a bridge quarterback. Part of the reason why the Lions received 2 first-rounders from the Rams, it wasn't just for Matt Stafford. It was because they were also taking in Jared Goff's bad contract. Jared Goff has 2 years left on his contract. He's a liability at this moment. But, of course, the Lions are going to ride with him for 2 years, but he is a bridge quarterback. So at this point, they will strongly consider a quarterback or even, like Mac Jones at this point, or even Kyle Pitts would be strong consideration here at 7.
with the eighth pick in this year's NFL draft, The Miami Dolphins select
tight end Kyle Pitts, Florida. I know he's starting to become a fan favorite. The Dolphins are thrilled, right? They trade down, they get another first rounder, they get another second rounder, and they still get a stud, a weapon. He's a matchup nightmare. That's what everybody says, right? He's 6'6", 240. He can play the slot. So imagine him as a giant slot receiver.
with the 9th pick in this year's NFL draft. The Denver Broncos select
QB, Mac Jones, Alabama. There will be 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 10. I have no doubt about that. Denver's one of those teams that needs a quarterback. They would love to get Mac Jones here. If someone doesn't trade up to draft him before they do. Jones is not as athletic as the top 4. We always say that, but he is a polished passer. A lot of teams are going to like to have him, and I'm talking, Denver, Carolina, if they can't get one of the top 4 guys. Detroit would love to have him. San Francisco. So I don't think he gets past 10. Yeah.
with the 10th pick in this year's NFL draft. The Dallas Cowboys select
Cornerback Patrick Surtain, the second, Alabama. He is the son of former Dolphin Patrick Surtain, and he is arguably the best corner in this year's draft. So the Cowboys are going to put up points. They got to fix that defense, and Patrick Surtain's a great addition.
with the 11th pick in this year's draft. The New York Giants select
Offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater, Northwestern. Here's a major change. So many people had Jalen Waddle going here, right? And it would make perfect sense. But the Giants just signed Kenny Golladay to a mega deal. So now their most immediate need is offensive line. So Rashawn Slater is a great player to take here. He can play anywhere on the line. So the Giants would be happy, and it would make sense for them to draft an offensive lineman here.
with the 12th pick in this year's NFL draft. The San Francisco 49ers select
Cornerback, Caleb Farley, Virginia Tech. Cornerback is a huge need for the 49ers at this point. Caleb Farley, some can argue, is the best corner in this draft. It's pretty close between him and Surtain. He checks all the boxes. He's got the size. He's 6'2", 207. He's got speed. He's got cover skills.
with the 13th pick in this year's NFL draft. The Los Angeles Chargers select
Offensive tackle, Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech. At this point, it's tempting, right? Like to give Herbert another weapon. And you know who I'm talking about. But the Chargers desperately need offensive help. That's their big need. And Darrisaw is staring at them. So they have to take this 6'5", 315-pound guy right here.
with the 14th pick in this year's NFL draft. The Minnesota Vikings select
Guard, Alijah Vera-Tucker, University of Southern California. There's no question that the Vikings need to build up their offensive line. Vera-Tucker is versatile, but many believe he's probably more a guard than a tackle, which kind of lowers his value. But
with the 15th pick in this year's NFL draft. The New England Patriots select
linebacker Micah Parsons, Penn State. Great pick for Belichick and company. Character issues have Parsons sliding, but the buck will stop with New England. He's arguably the best defensive player in this draft.
with the 16th pick in this year's NFL draft. The Arizona Cardinals select
Back, Najee Harris, Alabama. The Cards desperately want to take some pressure off of Kyler Murray, and Harris will be the perfect complement as a power back with pass-catching skills. Maybe a little too high for Harris, but I think he doesn't go past the Dolphins, so Arizona knows that, and they take him here.
All right, in order to keep these videos short, we're just going to break off this mock 2.0 draft, and then we're going to split it up. So we're going to end it here with the top 16. How much of this changed since the first mock draft 1.0?
A lot, obviously. A lot has happened in free agency. A team I can think off the top of my head, the Giants, major change in their drafting and who they're going to draft now. So,
all right, look forward to the second half of the first round coming up next.